William here, Patriot Containers. I'm making this video just because I've had so many people on marketing platforms ask me for 10 footers lately. Do you have a 10 footer? Do you have a 10 footer? Do you have a 10 footer? And the answer is always like, yes, call me. And then they don't call. So whatever. So I'm going to talk about 10 footers right now. 10 footers is not a common size. The two most common sizes containers you guys can get is a 20 foot and a 40 foot. The best bang for your buck for the most floor space is always the 40 footer. The cheapest container you're going to find that money will buy you is always a 20 footer. There's only two ways to get a 10 foot container. You either take a 40 footer and you chop it 3 times, and then you get 4 10 footers, and then so 3 of those 10 footers will get roll up doors. One will get, that has the cargo door, is going to get an end cap. 90% of the time, people that manufacture custom containers, they always do a paint job on them inside and out. At least the guys that I use do that. They always paint the inside and out on 10 footers. And the same thing applies for like a 15 footer or a 30 footer. So if you need a 30 foot container, you got to make it out of a 40 footer, and it's the same amount of work. If you need a 15 foot container, you got to take a 20 footer and cut 5 feet off. But back to the 10 footer though, there's 2 ways of going about that. Modification and making it custom out of a used container, or they actually make brand new 10 footers. So I'm going to make up some vague, easy numbers, because everybody that calls me goes, "Hi, I need a 10 footer." The first thing that comes out of my mouth is, do you have enough space for a 20? And if the answer is no, then you have to buy a 10 footer. But once I quote the price to somebody for a 10 footer, and just for the hell of it, I quote them a price for a 20 footer, they buy the 20 footer. And I go, "Well, why are you buying this? You said you didn't have enough room." They go, "Oh, we'll make enough room for that big a price difference." So I want to give you some basic numbers. This kind of applies for different areas where I can make custom containers. Let's just say a used 10 footer can cost anywhere from $3,300 to $3,800. But you could buy a brand new one for $4,000. So why would you take a used container, put all that work into it, paint it, and you're still getting a 10 footer, but it's used, when you could just spend a little bit more and buy a new one? Most people with a brain will go, I'll buy the new one. But there are people that they're counting pennies instead of thinking about quality. But yeah, that's how you make them. So, but if I could sell you a 20 footer for $2,000, so you got $4,000 for a 10 footer, and then $2,000 for a 20 footer, whether it's new or used. I'm just giving you simple numbers so it paints a picture. But anyways, yeah, that's how you make 10 footers. You can buy a new one, or you got to make it out of a bigger container. That's it. And they're never, ever, ever cheaper. And every time I talk to somebody, they're amazed that they cost so much. And there's a reason why. It's either new or it's custom made. So anyways, guys, that's it. Have a great day. Probably going to be making another video about how don't get scammed by a cargo container company. Have a great day. Goodbye.